And let's just start with the simple stuff because we talk about that often on our podcast. Um, Jan and I are two pharmacists that don't believe in drugs to treat most long-term disease. Being on a pharmaceutical long-term for your health is not empowering at all. It's disempowering. And, that's one thing that Jan and I wanted to do with this podcast is educate and empower individuals to take charge of their own health. So being off pharmaceuticals is part of that. And, we might have been taught that pharmaceuticals will help us stay healthy. Like, for instance, oh, you have high cholesterol. Let's give you this drug to lower your cholesterol to prevent cardiovascular disease. Well, that's just not how it works. It's not that simple. Janet and I have talked often about statins. That's one class of drugs we would never, ever recommend. We would never, ever take ourselves. We don't believe it decreases cardiovascular disease, and it definitely doesn't make you healthy. What makes you healthy is how you sleep, how you eat, and how you move. Those are the three most important things. Now, stress and the people you hang out with also go hand in hand with that. But you don't get healthy by taking a bunch of drugs. That is for sure. Janet?
No, I mean, if we look at our society, and this is even something very fascinating to me when we talk pharma and people talk about the advances we've made. Well, yes, I think acutely that is an accurate statement, that we've done some great things being able to help with trauma or an acute illness like an infection or a broken leg or any of those things. However, I think on the chronic side, we've failed miserably. And especially, if we look at how long pharmaceuticals have really been in our culture, 70, 80 years perhaps, and our lifespan is actually declining in the last 70 years. So that tells me there's something wrong in this picture. And I honestly think that, we treat people like in compartments. Well, if you have high blood pressure, we give you high blood pressure medication. But what if the problem is what you're eating, how you're exercising, how you're not being a part of your community or your family or your friends? What if you feel stressed out because that stress is not coming down because you're not participating in, daily functions with other people in your lives? I mean, we need to examine all these things because we're not just one little box, and we're dynamic. And there's something called, community that's super important. And I think we've kind of missed that. And really in the last few years, and at least the last 3 years, that's really came to light when we're looking at depression and anxiety in our youth or elderly feeling alienated. I mean, we have to be connected. We have to have communication with other people to be healthy.